It's quite interesting how the Victorian era painted Neanderthals as primitive beings without much thought or emotion. This image stuck for a long time, showing them as grunting cave dwellers wielding clubs. It was all based on misinterpretations of early skeletons that suffered from arthritis, creating this image of brutishness and lack of intelligence.
Modern science has done a great job in finally clearing up these misconceptions about the Neanderthals. Today, with the help of technologies like ancient DNA analysis, we now see them in a completely different light. These advances show us that Neanderthals were very much like us in many ways, capable of complex thought and culture. It's amazing how far our understanding has come.
Let's dive into the fascinating evolutionary position of Neanderthals. Their lineage actually split from the ancestors of Homo sapiens around 500,000 years ago. It wasn't a sudden change. These early humans, known as Homo heidelbergensis, already showed complex behaviors. But it was in Europe, through cycles of isolation and climate change, that Neanderthals truly evolved into the beings we know from history. This separated path highlights how they adapted uniquely over time.
Rebecca Ragg-Sykes offers an enlightening perspective in her work, Kindred. She argues that Neanderthals shouldn't be seen as evolutionary failures but as relatives, sharing part of our journey. These early humans managed to successfully navigate the harsh climatic cycles of their time. They were not cognitively inferior. Rather, they reflect a capability similar to our own. Their ability to hold their borders and thrive for thousands of years against such odds shows they were indeed an alternative humanity.
The survival of Neanderthals through brutal climatic cycles is truly remarkable. They endured these changes for over 300,000 years, showcasing their adaptability. Another fascinating aspect was their ability to hold off Homo sapiens from entering Europe for tens of thousands of years. Their strategic prowess and resilience were unmatched, allowing them to maintain their territories. This feat alone indicates their intelligence and strategic capabilities, clearly demonstrating that they were more than just primitive beings.
This ability to resist and adapt to environmental challenges underscores their human-like capabilities. Neanderthals were not a lesser version of humans, but a parallel line of evolution with different, yet equally strong traits. Their success in such varied and demanding environments exemplifies their complex and adaptable nature. We can see how they were truly built to thrive in their own right, challenging the outdated views that underestimated their sophistication and value.
To understand the evolution of Neanderthals, we have to look back at their origins with Homo heidelbergensis. This ancient lineage split from what would become modern humans over 500,000 years ago. It was primarily in Europe, amidst isolation due to periodic glaciations, that Neanderthals began to develop their distinct traits. These evolutionary changes weren't sudden, but rather gradual, shaped by the unique challenges and environments in Europe which honed their abilities over time.
One of the most insightful archaeological sites relating to this journey is the Cima de los Huesos, located in the Atapuerca Mountains of Spain. Here, deep within a cave, lie the remains of around 28 individuals who lived approximately 430,000 years ago. These remnants provide some of the earliest clues about the facial features that would define Neanderthals. More intriguing, however, is the hypothesis that their presence at this site may result from intentional deposition by their companions. Such acts might indicate an early form of ritual or funeral behavior.
This possible funerary act at Cima de los Huesos hints at a ritual complexity that predates what we previously imagined. The presence of a special red quartzite hand axe, dubbed Excalibur, near the remains adds to the mystery. It suggests that these early humans might have been engaging in activities of symbolic meaning far before we once thought such behaviors existed. In many ways, it challenges our perception of where and how complex cultural practices began to emerge.
Such developments in our understanding of Neanderthals show us that their evolution was not merely a story of survival, but also one of developing social and cultural complexity. These findings reflect their capacity for social bonds and possibly even belief systems. It's fascinating to see how these aspects make us reevaluate what it means to have symbolic thought. Considering that these behaviors seem to have been present in Neanderthals long before modern humans set foot in Europe.
When we think about Neanderthals' physical features, their robust and stocky build often comes to mind. This strong physique is something we associate with their adaptation to the cold climates of glacial Europe. Such features fall under what's known as Allen's rule, which suggests that shorter limbs and a more compact body help to conserve heat. These attributes made them well suited to survive harsh winters. However, their physical form was not just about staying warm, but also indicated their overall strength.
Indeed, Neanderthals were the elite athletes of their time, built for bursts of energy rather than long-distance endurance like modern humans. With powerful muscles and thick bones, they were sprinters and capable hunters, designed for quick, decisive action. This adaptation allowed them to ambush prey effectively and handle direct physical confrontations. It's a fascinating contrast to the marathon running abilities of Homo sapiens. Neanderthals were truly adapted for their specific lifestyle and environment.
The environments where Neanderthals thrived were incredibly varied. From the frozen tundras to temperate woodlands, they were able to adapt to these different settings. This diversity in their habitats challenges the notion that they were only cold weather specialists. Rather, they were able to live across a range of ecosystems. They moved between icy landscapes to forested areas seamlessly, showcasing their flexibility and survival tactics. This adaptability was key to their success over thousands of years.
Absolutely. Neanderthals were ecological generalists. This meant they could adjust their strategies depending on whatever environment they found themselves in. Whether it was the open expanses of the mammoth steppes or the dense forest areas, they had the means and skills to thrive. Their ability to inhabit such a wide range of biomes in Pleistocene Eurasia underlines their sophisticated ecological understanding. They knew how to use resources efficiently and were adept at navigating the environmental challenges they faced.
As we continue to explore the Neanderthals, one of the intriguing aspects is their technological and domestic intelligence. They were quite skilled at crafting tools, especially with the levallois technique, which shows a high level of precision and planning. It's fascinating how they could shape stone cores in a detailed manner, allowing them to produce specific flakes with a single strike. This level of craftsmanship indicates their understanding of materials and their capability to think ahead, which flips the outdated perception of them being primitive.
Indeed, their technological prowess didn't stop at stone tools. Neanderthals also pioneered the creation of birch tar, which they used as glue to bind stone to wooden handles. This was no easy feat. It required a complex understanding of fire and materials. To produce the tar, they needed to heat birch bark at very specific temperatures in low oxygen conditions. Such advanced techniques demonstrate their ability to manipulate their environment with precision, showing they weren't just surviving but thriving with sophisticated innovations.
Neanderthals also displayed impressive domestic intelligence through the organization of their living spaces. Microscopic analyses of cave sediments reveal that they had distinct areas for different activities. They maintained cleanliness by separating zones for cooking, sleeping, and working on tools. This orderly way of organizing their homes wasn't just about cleanliness. It speaks to a societal structure that valued order and efficiency, allowing them to live comfortably in various environments.
This structured living extended to their clothing as well. Neanderthals didn't settle for simple coverings. They created tailored clothing using tools like lissoir. These bone tools were used to soften and shape hides into flexible, well-made clothing. High-quality garments were essential for survival, particularly in harsh climates where wind and cold could be perilous. Crafting such clothing reflects their resourcefulness and attention to detail, surpassing the old views that underestimated their abilities.
Our previous discussions have touched on the skills and intelligence Neanderthals displayed. Now, let's focus on their diet, which was once thought to be mainly about hunting big game like mammoths and bison. While hunting large prey was crucial, new evidence tells us they had a much broader dietary range. They adapted by including many different food sources, showing their ability to use various environments for sustenance. This skill was essential for their survival and highlights their resourcefulness.
Certainly. In Gibraltar, Clive Finlayson's findings revolutionized our understanding by showing that Neanderthals also exploited marine resources. Sea creatures like mussels and seals, even dolphins, were part of their menu. This use of the sea's bounty, especially those rich in fats vital for brain health, was thought to be a clever strategy exclusive to Homo sapiens, but Neanderthals were clearly just as innovative. This practice underscores their capability to diversify their diet beyond just land-based hunting.
Continuing on this theme of adaptability, Neanderthals also consumed a variety of plants. Archaeological evidence shows they cooked different plants, like tubers and nuts, proving they were not just meat-eating hunters. They also understood the nutritional and practical aspects of the plants available to them. The presence of microfossils in their dental plaque indicates they used cooking to enhance their food options, reflecting their dietary flexibility and knowledge of plant resources in their environment.
Interestingly, their knowledge extended to self-medication. Findings suggest they used plants with healing properties long before modern medicine. For example, evidence from dental plaque analysis showed traces of poplar, a natural pain reliever similar to aspirin, and even penicillium, a kind of antibiotic. These choices indicate that Neanderthals had a complex understanding of their environment, using herbs not just for sustenance but also for maintaining health. This deep connection with their natural world highlights their intelligence in ways we're only just starting to appreciate.
Let's delve into the fascinating insights gained from Gorham's cave. One of the most compelling finds is the geometric engraving, often referred to as the hashtag. This pattern, more than 40,000 years old, was not a random act, but a carefully crafted design. Its creation required considerable focus and time, suggesting that Neanderthals engaged in symbolic thought. This kind of abstract thinking shows a level of intelligence and a capacity for art, which we didn't recognize in them until recently.
Indeed, Neanderthals expressed themselves not just through cave engravings but also with body art. There's intriguing evidence that they used feathers for ornamental purposes. They carefully selected and removed feathers, especially dark ones, from birds of prey like eagles and ravens. This suggests they had a sense of style and aesthetics, valuing personal adornment. Such practices point to a deep understanding of symbolism and possibly even social signaling among their groups.
Neanderthals also crafted jewelry from eagle talons, further showcasing their aesthetic sense. These talons were modified, possibly to create necklaces or bracelets. This activity indicates they had a concept of beauty and perhaps even social or spiritual significance attached to these items. The creation of such personal adornments challenges the outdated views of them as lacking culture or creativity.
Additionally, their use of red ochre adds another layer to our understanding of their cultural practices. They use this natural pigment to paint objects or possibly even their bodies. The ochre could have been part of rituals or identity expression, indicating their need to convey meaning through colors and symbols. This sophistication in their use of materials shows a community that valued expression, identity, and possibly even spiritual life.
Support us by liking and subscribing to our podcast for more gripping stories and insights into the world around us. We look forward to sharing more incredible discoveries and discussions with you in our upcoming episodes. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. Your engagement helps us continue this exploration and share knowledge that challenges and informs.